Well, hello, my friend. My name is Joe Bakhmutsky. I am the founder of Power to Be Happy and also the author of Finding Hope in Times of Uncertainty, a guide to thriving in a challenging world of today. And it is a crazy world that we live in, isn't it? And we are often, not only have we have to deal with things that come up in your life today, but we also have to deal with painful memories or difficult times that kind of spring up on you from the past. And those times can make life difficult because we keep on thinking about them, because we dwell on those moments, because they may be the tough times that are really holding us back today, that we perhaps haven't been able to make sense of ourselves, let alone to others. So we carry it with us and we hold on. And that's why I have to ask you this: is there something in your life that you believe might be holding you back? Like a painful time from the past, a difficult moment, a secret perhaps, something that you don't feel comfortable sharing, because we all have that in some sense or another, and letting it go into the world, whether you can work through it in one way or another, or whether you are able to share it, or with some sense of letting go is vital, because it will give you that sense of freedom. It will give you that sense of not having this burden, and you have to have like an anchor that you kind of drag around with you. And maybe you don't even think about it. Maybe it's something that doesn't even come up for you on regular basis, but it is something that you unconsciously have to carry the load, and have this pain come up in your way and stop you from being as direct and as expressive and as free as you want to be. And letting it go can help you unleash your creativity, unleash your sense of being purposeful and live in a moment, right? To be in that sense where nothing is holding you back, to be more in the sense of like you're just in it. You don't have worries that are constantly on your mind. Yes, we all have busy lives, and that's not going to change. But we can make life easier for ourselves when we let go of these difficult moments, of these kind of secrets, of things that we don't feel comfortable with ourselves, or perhaps sharing with others. So what can we do, right? What can we do to stop ourselves being these prisoners of the past? Well, first of all, first thing I want to do is to really guide you through a really quick meditation on letting go of the past. Right? I'm not going to ask you to do anything weird. It's just a visualization exercise that I'd love for you to do it with me, right? And what I want you to do is to sit comfortable and take a deep breath. A deep breath that hopefully goes to your, all the way into your tummy. You breathe in, breathe out. And hopefully you can have a steady breath, right? And keep it going. Keep breathing in all the way to your tummy and breathing out, so that we can at least get our body in a place where we're comfortable, where we are ready to do this. And what I want you to do now is to imagine that you find yourself alone in a theater, right? And this theater, it's a beautiful old style theater. It's got these leather seats, and it's dark, right? The lights are off, and you're on your own. So you're sitting somewhere in the first row. And so you're right next to the stage. And you're sitting there in your seat and you're comfortable. And slowly the light starts to come on. And what you see up on stage is something's taking place. And this is where something that might be the time in your life that is a painful memory, something you recognize that it was a difficult moment for you. A difficult moment from the past, something that you feel it's tough to talk about. And you see it right there on the stage in front of you. It comes back. For me, it's a time when I got my diagnosis about cancer and how I am in my doctor's office. And I can, and my specialist is there just opposite me, and I'm sitting in this armchair, and he sits down opposite me and he says to me, "Joe, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but this is definitely cancer." Is there a moment like that for you that is uncomfortable, is painful, that represents this time in your life when things were tough, that might be holding you back today, that you don't feel comfortable in sharing, sometimes even to yourself? Is there something that you can look at and visualize in your mind? I think this can help you to let it go. So it's up on the stage and you recognize it, right? You recognize it as it's happening because it's happened to you, and you can see yourself being out there, and it's unfolding like theater, right? It's taking action right there in front of you. And it's some ways it's hard to watch. And yet at the same time, as you are seeing this, you also get this sense, this recognition that it's something that has already happened, right? That it's already taken place. It is in the past. It is no longer something that is happening in your life or should be affecting you in any way, shape, or form. It is something that has already happened. It's taken place. It is done. And now it is up to you to leave it behind you. And as you realize this in your mind, in your imagination, I want you to think of yourself as you were sitting down in this theater. And in your mind, you want to get up. And I want you to imagine that you get up from your seat and you slowly turn around away from the stage. And what you can see in the distance is the exit sign at the back of the theater. And you start heading towards it in your mind. That's where you're going. And as you're walking past, you can still tell that there's something behind you, something is still happening up on stage. You know that the traumatic time or difficult time from the past is still going on, it's still continuing. But now it's just a memory. It's a memory that's been relived somewhere, but it has nothing to do with you. And you can feel it happening behind you. It's behind your back. It's literally behind you. And you're walking away towards the back of the theater, towards the exit sign. Eventually you make your way there. I want you to imagine that you open the door. And when you come outside, there's the sun. And there's the fresh air. And you can feel it. And you walk out and you close the door behind you. How did it feel? How did it feel for you? Right? Because that's important. To go through exercise where we learn to let go and put it behind us. And if you feel that this painful memory comes up for you again, then you can do it again until you make yourself more comfortable. Not in the sense that we want to forget it, not in the sense that we want to pretend like it never happened or doesn't exist, but it's behind us. That is a critical part, I believe, of letting go of difficult times, is realizing that it's past. It's disconnecting yourself from the event. Not because it didn't happen, not because we're in denial, but putting it in the past, where it belongs, to a place where it no longer affects your life today. And that is what I believe really is key to leading a purposeful, regret-free life, is our continuing ability to reconcile past, present, and future. In the sense that past, I think what is most helpful to us is to look at our own past, and I know that's difficult, but to look at your past as history, right? As something that, you may have studied history at school or, at university or whatever else you've done, or maybe it's through your personal interest. And history is, we study what happened. We look at the past, we learn about what happened, we learn about what caused things to happen a certain way, we learn about its impact, we hopefully learn some lessons about how to potentially avoid it in the future, or take away something, some sort of a key learning. That's really important, and that's really vital for us moving forward. And that's, I think, how it is really the most helpful way to look at the past as history. It's something that's really happened. We can learn from it. We can get informed by it. Some of it might be traumatic or painful or uncomfortable, but ultimately it's already happened. And that's how I urge you to think about it. And I know that takes practice. It takes time. It's not something you can just like flick a switch and it's there. But when you start to slowly think about past in this way, it will make it a lot easier for you to also think about the future. A future is something that you want to look forward to, as something that comes up, a future that is something that you can make happen and something that you can plan for, but that this future, the road to the future, comes through today. And that this moment we have right now, that moment is the only one that matters. This is the only chance that we get to fully live, to live a purposeful life, to have that sense of purpose, that you're going somewhere, that you are engaged, that you live in the moment. That's the goal. To feel like this life belongs to you, and that you can enjoy it, that you can give, and that you can love other people, and you can do things that you are passionate about and make a difference in a way that is significant to you and meaningful to your way of life. That is key. And doing that through clarity, through our constant, never-ending quest to seek clarity in life. I believe that is part of our power to be happy. And that is to seek greater clarity in everything that we do. And I really believe that comes down to 4 key principles that I want to run through with you right now. And the first principle is this, is that you have all the answers inside you. I really believe that the biggest travesty that exists in our society today, or one of, is that we've been told that all the answers, exist outside of you. If there's a problem, you got to get it fixed, right? It's like plumbing, right? That they can find answers outside of us. I really believe that that's not the case. I believe that you've been through things in your life, and you worked through challenges, and you've experienced hardship, and you found a way to go on. You found a way to live on. You've learned things along the way. You are strong. Whether you feel this or not, you are strong, you are courageous, you are resilient. You can figure things out, and you have all the answers inside of you. But it's a matter of bringing them out to the surface, of being able to make sense of what's going on in your life through, I have my own clarity guide process, as you know, which I talk about in my podcasts and in my coaching work. So I really believe that's the key. But you can do this also through sharing things with others. You can do this through multiple ways, but the key is to seek greater clarity, because all the answers are already inside you. And I want you to know that you have that and you can make it happen. The other key principle is that clarity begins and ends with you today. And what I really mean by that is that clarity isn't something that you go and find in the future. Clarity isn't something that exists in the past and we can learn all the answers there. Sure, we can be informed by the things that have happened. Yes, it's absolutely true that it's vital to have a vision of what the future might look like. But ultimately, getting clarity about what's going on, who you really are, and where you want to get to, that can only exist in this moment today. That's what clarity is really all about. So that's why it's so important to focus on this moment right now and seek answers for not what's going to be right for you, a year from now or 5 years from now, or what might happen in some point in the future, but what's vital and what's real for you today. The other key principle is what you seek in life is what you get. I really believe that what we are striving to find, trying to accommodate into our lives, that is the absolute key in finding it. If you want to find purpose, if you want to find a sense of belonging, if you want to find a sense of love, if you want to experience that, if you're really looking for it and you're directing your efforts towards it, your time, your energy, make plans, try things, see what works, see what doesn't, then you are bringing yourself closer to finding it. This isn't some kind of blind hope that things are just going to fall into place, but you are instead making it happen. And that is the absolute key. And that's what brings me to the fourth key principle of clarity. And that is that the next move is the only move that matters. We oftentimes make big plans. I know I'm guilty of it. I do it all the time. I make grand plans and there's a million steps and I plan things out into the future, but we know that life doesn't work this way. Things come up, things throw you off, things don't go to plan, things change. What you want changes. And taking some elaborate steps towards something, that's not as practical as taking one step today, right now. So I urge you, as you're trying to make sense of what's right for you in your life, if you're trying to make sense of what's going on, if you're trying to reinvent yourself, I urge you to think about what is my one next big step forward. One step, not 10 steps, not 100 steps, one. Do that, and you will continually feel that you are making progress. You will continually feel that you are moving towards the life that you want to have. You are continually moving forward and seeking clarity. And if you want to find out more about how to get clarity in key areas of your life, then I might be able to serve you and support you in doing that with my clarity guide process and my coaching program. If this is what if you want to do that, if you want to take the next step of your life, I might be able to support you in achieving a breakthrough in a short period of time. If this is what is important to you in your life today. And to find out more about Clarity First, go to powertobehappy.com. I'll take you there. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Joe Bekmutsky. I'll see you next time.